today the ancestors are coming through and they're showing me an image. And the image that they're showing me is you and you're walking down the sidewalk and you're walking quickly, you're trying to get somewhere, it's really important. And you realize that you have a stone in the bottom of your shoe. And once you feel that, you're like, I don't have time to stop. I just need to get where I'm going. I'll just deal with it later. But as you continue to walk along, your foot gets sore. It starts to bring your attention away from where you're going and what you need to do. And as you keep walking and walking, you finally get to your destination and you sit down at your meeting, and all you can think about is how bad your foot hurts. And it starts to take away the focus of the meeting before you and what you were meant to do while you were there. And then the ancestors are shifting and they're showing me a different image. And in this image, they're showing me you getting in your car instead of walking. And there's a clunking noise. And you just keep driving. You don't stop to see what's going on. You just get to where you need to go. And you kind of just forget about this clunking noise until it's time to return home. This time, the noise is louder and it's growing louder. And you get home again. You forget about this noise and you just go about your day. And what the ancestors are saying is that these are all the little issues in your life that you tend to ignore. You tend to not acknowledge them because you're too busy doing this or that. And what the ancestors would like you to understand is that these little issues often grow into bigger issues, festering underneath the surface until you do acknowledge them. And so they're calling upon you today to take a few moments in your life whenever you feel that kind of irritation along the surface or that clunking noise you hear in your car, and just really pay attention to that in that moment, because there's always time to deal with what is coming after that. If you don't take the time and you acknowledge and you resolve these little issues underneath, then they will grow and they will stop you in your tracks and prevent you from doing something else. This is what would happen in the car. If it continues to clunk and clunk and clunk and you don't pay any attention to it, eventually you're going to get in your car and it's not going to work anymore. And so this is what the ancestors want you to understand. And they want you to be able to stop, listen to even the most tiny things that you might be feeling. Open your heart to them, examine them, bring them to your conscious level, and take the time to stop and acknowledge them so they don't grow, so they don't fester, so they don't stop you in your tracks from doing other things. And they are saying that these things can be physical, they can be emotional, they can be mental, they could even be in your spiritual life. It's just about the rushing that we do through our life, trying to think that one thing is more important when we need to stop and realize that each and everything that comes to us is important. We need to acknowledge all things, not just the things that we are rushing to, not just the things that are in the future, but also the things that are in these little moments that are calling to our attention and we're just ignoring them because we think we have time to deal with them at a later date. And so the ancestors are saying again that these little things often are important. They're often trying to call your attention to something that needs to be acknowledged, looked at, resolved in order to not grow, fester, and stop you from doing the other things that you need to do in your life that you only see as important. The ancestors and your guides all around you, the divine, they can see the larger picture. And so they're asking you today to remember this message. When you feel that little nagging bit drawing your attention away from something and you think you're too busy, they want you to remember this message and take the time, stop, acknowledge it, see what that really is trying to call to your attention, and then move forward on your day through your experiences or whatever you might be trying to get to or get done. And this is the message of the ancestors today. Thank you for listening. We'll close.